at the core of your business. Welcome to day 168 of our Supersize Your Business Annual Challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. I want to create a little graphic to talk about today's topic because although we're focusing on physical health and well-being all this month as part of the life framework, one of the things that I like to do every single month, no matter what area we're focusing on, is talk about key tools, key principles that we need to make sure we're applying to our business in each of the different areas and aspects of our business. And one of those is core values. We didn't talk about it. Usually I talk about it the first 3 or 4 days of the month, but had other topics this month and kind of let it fall by the wayside. And I think it fits perfectly with what we're talking about today with respect to the core of our business. Our core strength in our physical bodies is important. Guess what? The core of our business is just as important. And it's hard to think of it as a physical thing, but it actually is. It permeates our culture. And it's basically, what are our core values as an organization? Have you done that exercise for your business? If you're a small business and you've just built from the ground up, like I did many of my businesses, you may not have done that. Lucky for me, I was in corporate America, and so I was exposed to all kinds of systems, processes, and tools that help us to grow and build and scale our businesses. And one of those tools was understanding and identifying our core values, our principle, our mission, our vision, our purpose, if we haven't done those already. And we should revisit those every year anyway, because times change. I mean, I didn't consider AI when I started any of my businesses in the past, but now you need to consider the impact of artificial intelligence on your business today, as well as what's going to happen in the future. So, how do we identify our core values? I'm going to give you a quick process. I did mine. I didn't do it for business, so I'm going to do that on the fly with you. But what I like to do is think of it as kind of in layers, just like our beliefs, which is why I added it to this belief graphic, because at the center of everything is you. The center of your business is you. Whether you believe it or not, you are the core, and your core values tend to align with what shows up in your business. So you want to ask yourself, do I value anything that is or could be twisted to be negative in my business? And I'm going to give you some examples of what I had in the past. I used to value, and I didn't think of it as a value, but I used to value hustle and speed and pace of working and doing different tasks. I grew up as a quality manager and a quality engineer by training, and so I did time and motion studies of all the different jobs in, let's say, my Italian food manufacturing company, because I had that skill. I could do that. And so I knew how long each task should take, right? And it would frustrate me when a task that should take an hour and a half took 4. And I had to let go of that measurement being a core value of mine because it wasn't good for the culture. It wasn't good for me. It had me in this frustration and stressed out mode all the time, which was not positive for the business or the culture or my communication or my relationships. And so I stopped doing that. And we kind of outgrew it. Once you know your processes well enough and you train your people properly, the pace takes care of itself. Does it ebb and flow? Is it different every day? Yes. So why would we measure something? Why would I measure something that just frustrated me? It was ridiculous. It reminded me of one of my first jobs during college was we had to fill out worksheets of everything we did all day long at the shift. No one ever looked at them. No one ever did anything with the information, but we still had to do it. I don't like doing anything that isn't used. I love it if we're going to use it for something, for decision making or anything, but if we're not going to use it for anything, I don't like to just track numbers and look at numbers for numbers' sake. I think it's important, and we've talked about it in finances and things, and we'll talk about it again this year. We talk about it every month as part of this super framework too. How do we measure? How do we know? So, physical core values. We want to think about these today. What are the physical things that are important to our business? Maybe it's something about your actual physical facilities. Maybe you want to upgrade something. I like to give the example of we needed to restripe the parking lot in a giant organization that I worked for. And it was a company that traditionally valued relationships. So that meant the relatives of the family that owned the company got preferential treatment and they never bid out anything. And so they were paying, in some instances, 10 times more for things like striping the parking lot than if they would have gotten bids and hired another organization to do it. And I wasn't always very popular in that organization, but I made massive improvements in our processes and the things that we did, and literally saved that company hundreds of millions of dollars in different areas and aspects of their business. It's one thing I loved about being a quality vice president and things, is I defined quality as processes and the way everybody did everything in the organization and the way they interacted with one another, which meant I got to stick my nose in everything. And that's right up my alley. I loved it. So we know how to brainstorm. If you've been in business any amount of time, you know how to brainstorm. Sit down with a piece of paper like I did this morning and just start making a list of the things physically that are important to you. Now, for me, physical health-wise, I wrote some things that are kind of embarrassing and I wouldn't share, but I'm going to share it here for demonstration purposes. So for me, physically, I put swimsuit body. What does that mean to me? It means I can put on one of my many swimsuits. I probably have at least 2 dozen, and I don't feel too embarrassed to sit on my front porch to get a little sun this summer. Healthy choices 90% of the time. It means, and this can apply directly and does apply directly to my business as well, 90% of the time we are going to do the right thing and pick the right healthy food choices, make the right decisions for our business. Will we do it 100% of the time? No, but our goal is 90% of the time. Our goal is actually 100% of the time, but we also have to be a little realistic and remind ourselves, I'm still going to eat caramel. I'm still going to have ice cream once in a while. I'm still going to make choices that wouldn't be considered healthy. So instead of letting my subconscious go half-cocked off on me and being out of negative self-talk, I'm setting the expectation that I get a pass in certain times. I think it's why diets like that give you the weekend off or give you a cheat day are so much more successful than ones that restrict and have all these guidelines that people can never stick to anyway. And then finally, I put daily movement. Why? Because I know how important it is to move every single day. I'm in a coaching program because we're always sharpening the saw. And we were on a almost 7-hour call yesterday, meaning sitting. Now, I got up, took my computer, and did laundry and things so I could keep moving during it. But that's a lot, even for me. So, top 3. What are the top 3 things for your business is physical health and well-being that you want to do? Those are your core values. They'll align with your core values. Always check in to make sure something aligns with your core values, because if it does, it should get a yes. If it doesn't, it's just an automatic no. It makes decision-making and taking action so much easier, because we always want to be moving toward the things that are most important to us and to our business and to our company. And so we want to choose things that make sense. So today, pick 3 core values, physical core values, and just share one in the comments below. You don't have to share all of them, share one. Say, whatever it is for you physically. Hey, we want to have the best looking ads and the most attention grabbing ads, because that's a physical thing, right? People can see it and experience the ad. It can be anything. We want to have the healthiest people in our industry. We want to set the example for other people in the industry, knowing that we can be super successful, make a ton of money, and still take care of ourselves physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, the whole 9 yards. That's what this annual challenge is all about. All right, any questions? Hit me up and ask. Otherwise, go out, make it an awesome day. Don't forget to move it, and I'll of course be with you tomorrow. Any questions? Ask. Remember, Supersize School. Love to have you join us. Free. I've got the freemium model turned on, so it's free to join. Why would you not? I got a little bit of experience that you might learn a thing or two from. All right, have an amazing day. Bye.